About 2 years ago, Rabbi Pekar, who's in the back over there welcoming people. Oh, he's right here. It's hard to tell, there's two of them. He had the opportunity to go to Shimon's school, and he came over to me a short while later, and he says, Yaacov, you have to come see this. And we went to Shimon's school, we went to PS 770. We watched Shimon speak to a group of parents. We were sitting there in this auditorium. Some of these parents were barely able to read. We were sitting there, Shimon had some slides up. Some of these parents were barely able to read. Some of them were very educated, some of them were very invested and it was clear that they had an education. But all of these people were united by one thought, by one element, that they were there to become better parents. They were there to become better educators. They were there because they wanted to be invested in what their children would come out to be like, the outcome of their children. And they were able to do this because they had leadership in their school that allowed them to invest in themselves, invest in their children. So we sat there and we watched this parenting class, and I said to myself, I said to Yisrael, I have to get involved. We have to become part of this. Fast forward, Shimon and I, Rabbi Pekar, Shimon, myself, we've become good friends. I've gone to visit his school now many times. We've taken the teachers of Darchei Menachem to come visit his school. We've spent time talking about education, the future of education in our community. And we recognize that education has been attacked in a negative way. Shimon's going to explain to you probably a little bit more about that and how that happened. Shimon is really a true innovator. His schools, the schools that he first started in, the school that made him famous in the Bronx, you probably have seen it in the news. He started off with one of the most dangerous schools in the New York City public system. Shimon will correct me if I got the details wrong, but if I understood correctly, 70% of all the crime in New York City public schools happened in, is that correct?
The 12 schools had 60% of it.
So 12 schools had 60% of the crime of all New York City public schools. And from those 12 schools, this school had 20% of those 12 schools. When Shimon was done with that school, it was one of the safest schools in New York City. It's not just about being safe, it was also innovative. Kids were also learning and people were growing and children were happy.